Hello and welcome back, audience. My name is MassiveBrad and welcome back to my FIFA 19 Liverpool career mode. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a huge big thank you for the love and support on the channel. And as always, guys, at the start of these episodes, we're quickly going to recap on the previous. And to be quite frank, the previous episode was not that great when it comes to goals. Of course, the first game was against Brighton in the round 5 of the FA Cup. We'd recently just played Brighton in the Premier League. We beat them 2-1, but that one goal that was scored for Brighton actually come from our right back, Dani Alves. He scored an absolutely sublime header, but in the wrong end of the pitch. And of course, then I called the episode the Dani Alves case, because then we could not consist. We couldn't keep clean sheets. We weren't consistent. We were letting silly goals in again. But since then, the previous episode was the first time, I do believe, in 2 episodes where we actually kept both clean sheets. Of course, we played Brighton, as I said, in the FA Cup, and we beat them 1-0. So 1 goal, and we kept a clean sheet. And then in the second game of the previous episode, it was against the Red Devils, Manchester United. And the same sort of outcome. We kept a clean sheet. Alisson turned up on the day because he had to make an incredible save coming to the end of that game. I do believe in the 88th minute against Alexis Sanchez. And we also won that game 1-0. Not many goals, only 2 goals in the previous episode, but hoping to change that up in today's episode because, guys, it is massive. You can see there, the first game is against Chelsea in the final of the Carabao Cup, which means when we end today's episode, we may potentially have won our second piece of silverware. We won the Champions Trophy in pre-season, and now we possibly might be putting the Carabao Cup in our trophy cabinet, which I will be absolutely over the moon with. And then if we jump over to the calendar, we can see the second game is just as big. It is the second leg against Benfica. We're in the round of 16 Champions League. We've played them 2 weeks ago and we do have a 1-0 aggregate, and I do believe we played them away, so away goals are always better. We've scored 1 and Benfica travelled to Anfield, and I'm sure we're going to turn up. A lot of you guys did say in the comment section, Brad, should have been a much higher score when you played Benfica. You had so many chances, you just weren't consistent enough, and hopefully I'll be changing that up in today's episode. But first, we've got to face Chelsea in the final of the Carabao Cup, and this is the lineup I am putting out. It is one of the strongest lineups I can put out to start against Chelsea. We've got Mane on that left wing, Roberto Firmino at striker, Salah on the right wing, Gini Wijnaldum linking up with Naby Keita in the central midfield, Fabinho in the central defensive midfield, Robertson, Van Dijk, Jimenez and Trent at the back, with of course the big Brazilian man Alisson in net. You can also see that Van Dijk, he did go out for 5 weeks. I think it's been 4 weeks. He's back fully fit. I've had the email from the medical team saying, do you know what? He's come back a little bit earlier. He's ready to play, but just be a little bit careful. You can see he's got a plaster still next to his kit, and that obviously means that he's still a little bit fragile. We don't want him making that injury anywhere, so picking up another injury, but I'm going to risk playing him for the first 45 minutes. We've got to have the big guns going. We've got to have the best defenders, the best midfielders, and the best forward line, because we're playing Chelsea. We've played them before, and the one thing I remember is Hazard, and I do believe his name is Bas Dost. He was absolutely unbelievable up front for them. They didn't have Morata, they didn't have Olivier Giroud, they had Bas Dost, and he was doing overhead kicks, he was doing scissor kicks, he was doing all sorts trying to score, and luckily enough on the day we did keep him out. But this is going to be massive. We're travelling to Wembley Stadium to play the final of the Carabao Cup, and in about 2 or 3 minutes time on this video, we potentially could have a second trophy in this season 1. But let's go ahead and get into it and hopefully dominate this Chelsea side. And we are here, Wembley Stadium. This is going to be a big one. I also forgot to mention that just this January just gone, so around a couple of weeks ago, they signed that man right there. Don't know if you guys can tell who it is from the back, but that is the PSG man, Thiago Silva, who is solid at the back. They've got Hazard, they've got Barkley, Willian, Pedro. I'm not really sure what their keeper's name is. I don't really know how you even pronounce it. It looks like a Wi-Fi password, but this is going to be a very difficult one. They've also got Dani Carvajal, I can see there. And the man to watch is Eden Hazard. 3 goals in his last 3 matches. I've always said, I mean, Hazard, even in real life, I rate him. I think he's a little bit inconsistent, but he is an absolutely unbelievable player. And when he turns up, he turns up. It's just a shame that sometimes he's not doing it week in, week out. But this is going to be a massive game. Let's go ahead and get into this first half at the Wembley Stadium. The final of the Carabao Cup is here, and hopefully it'll be coming back to Liverpool with us by half time. Wing, Salah dances his man. Let's pull this back. Still Salah. Into Trent, going to look at whipping a ball now. Looking for Mane in the middle. And I'll tell you what, Fabinho gets there. And it's just wide. Wow, 6 minutes in and we could have been 1-0 up there. Fabinho rises, gets his head to it, but puts it wide of the goal. Go back to Fabinho. Nicely done. Let's go into the middle now. Go to Bobby. Bobby looking to strike one. Takes a deflection. Bobby again. Through to Gini Wijnaldum. Gini to strike. Kepa with a big save. Don't let Hazard get through here, lads. Do not let him get in behind, otherwise we may have a problem. And Gini's robbed him. And here goes Bobby Firmino. Gonna put it over that far side for Mane. Mane's bursting forwards now. Mane to put us 1-0 up. And it's a big save from Kepa. Naby Keita looking through the middle for Gini Wijnaldum. Gini to come wave it. Try and poke it round to Mane. This time Mane. This time some 1-0. Yes. That is what I'm talking about. 3 massive attempts so far within 21 minutes. And this time round, Mane makes sure he puts the nail in the coffin. Oh, look at that. Gini Wijnaldum got a little bit lucky there. He jostled for the ball, gets to it, pokes it through to Mane. And I'd normally say Mane doesn't miss them from there, but he's already missed one. Second time round, outside of the boot. It's in the back of the net, and we are 1-0 up in the final of the Carabao Cup. How it stands right now, that trophy's coming home, boys. Nicely done, Naby Keita. Into Salah. And here we go again with Gini Wijnaldum now. Here goes Gini. We're going to have Salah over this far side. Poke it through to Salah. Come on, Salah. Dance your man. Nicely done. Bend one. Salah. Oh! There's Thiago Silva. Put the pressure on, lads. Put the pressure on. They are panicking at the back. They don't know where to go. And look at that. It's played straight into Gini Wijnaldum. Plays it round to Fabinho. Round the corner to Mane. And Mane is going to have to dance his man here and look for a cheeky little dink in. Looking for Salah to clear the way. Come on, Firmino. Dance your man. Good lad. Played across the face of goal. Mane! Salah! Yes! 2-0! That's what we want! That is what we've come here to do today. Chelsea, nobody is stopping us. Nobody. Considering in this half already, this first half of this first game, we've already scored 2 goals. We are equal with how many goals we scored in the whole of the previous episode. What a beautiful little finesse on the side foot by Salah. 2-0 up just before half time. I'm sorry if I'm loud, guys, but I am excited. I am full of energy. And we are potentially winning the Carabao Cup here. Nicely done. There we go. Play that round the corner now to Naby Keita. And we're coming knocking once again. Go into Bobby. Bobby's got Mane on that far side. Mane's coming forwards. Here comes Mane. Thank you, man, Mane. Try and bend one. Oh, could have been 3-0 there. Goes out for a Liverpool corner. Fabinho into Naby Keita. Looking through there to Bobby Firmino. Takes a shot. Takes a deflection from Azpilicueta. And once this corner's come in, the referee is surely going to blow for half time. So if we could score from this, I'd be very happy. Let's look this time round for Jimenez. Ball coming in. Jimenez, you've got to get there. Jump, Jimenez. Virgil's there. And the big man Virgil van Dijk has put us 3 up before half time. What a goal. I was looking for Jimenez this time round. But big man Virgil has rose above everyone there and ploughed that into the bottom right corner, beating Kepa between the sticks. Nice ball from Salah. Nice bit of height, nice bit of weight. Both of our defenders jumping for it. Van Dijk gets there. And they don't have a man on the post to clear it away. And what a goal. 3-0 up at half time. I tell you what, when we come up against Benfica in the next game, you best be sure, guys, the energy is going to be through the goddamn roof. The referee is blown for half time. We're going in at Wembley Stadium at half time with a 3-0 lead. I mean, this could have been 5 or 6 by half time. Look at the stats. 12 shots, 9 on target. Sorry, where are you, Chelsea? I can't hear no fans. Can't hear nothing right now. That right there is silence, because we have silenced the Chelsea players, silenced the Chelsea manager, but most importantly, silenced the Chelsea fans. Let's get into the second half. Exactly the same team. Going to look at making some changes probably in the next 10-15 minutes. Van Dijk I'm going to bring off because, again, he wasn't fully fit. Probably going to take Salah and Bobby Firmino off as well, because realistically we could just shut shop now, but that is not how MassiveBrad plays. As a manager, we go for more goals. So let's get into the second half and look for some more. Gini looking through to Bobby Firmino. Going to go straight over the top. Looking for Naby Keita, who's going to take a touch and bang it on the volley. It's just over the bar. Van Dijk's going to have to come across, ball into the middle. Jimenez should deal with that, no problem. It falls to Jorginho. Let's put the pressure on here, lads. Put the pressure on. Looks the clear one. Lucas Vazquez putting it wide of the goal. Play it back. Here's Fabinho. Fabinho going to look to poke it around the corner to Keita. And look at this. Salah in all the space. Salah to slot one home. There we go. It's 4-0. It's 4-0. The Chelsea defenders right then switched off, and funny enough, guys, I watched them switch off. Alexandro pushed himself into more of a centre-back position. When Naby Keita picked up the ball, Sandro come across, as you can see here, Fabinho. Look at Sandro, he pulls into the middle. He has to, because obviously Naby Keita, in loads of space, could look at hitting it. Drags himself off Salah, and Salah puts his right foot through it, side foots it in off the post. And Salah was given far too much space there. And I tell you what, with that fourth goal, and I cannot believe I am saying, with that fourth goal in the final of the Carabao Cup against Chelsea, how are this team right now in the final of this cup? Chelsea do not deserve it. We're 4-0 up. We're absolutely annihilating them. But I'm going to look to make some changes. This is the only problem now. I'm looking at Gini Wijnaldum. He's a little bit low. Naby Keita's getting up and down. He's a little bit low. And Mane is also looking tired. But I said I'd take Van Dijk off. I'm going to drop... Oh, what can I do here? I'm messing around now. I can't be messing around too much. Let's just go with... Let's leave Van Dijk. Let's leave Van Dijk on the pitch, Brad. Come on, you just got to do it. Let's get Gini off for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Let's get Sessegnon on for Mane, who's been absolutely unbelievable. I really want Bobby to stay fit. But right now, I mean, do I take Salah off? Do I take Naby Keita? This is the problem. Let's go and take Salah off. I feel like... See, we're playing Benfica in just 2 days' time, so I can't mess around too much because the players won't be fully fit. It's as simple as that. In 2 days' time, Bobby, Naby, Fabinho, they won't be back fully fit, so I'm going to take Salah off. I just can't risk it. This is what I hate. We're playing this on a Sunday, and then we're playing against Benfica on the Tuesday. It's just not enough time to get our players fit, and this is one of the problems that many people mention on FIFA. The congestion of games is just ridiculous. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Fabinho, going to look. I bend the one with Fabinho. Tell you what, just over the bar. And Shaqiri is wanting to go, and tell you what, we've put Shaqiri in here. Shaqiri is going to pace it now. We've got Sessegnon at back post ball in. Right, Sessegnon! Come on! Oh, I can't believe Kepa has saved that. Pushing forwards now is Roberto Firmino. And there we go. We don't have to do anything else, guys. By pretty much the halfway whistle, we'd already put the final nail in the coffin. Mane, Salah, Van Dijk, and a second for Salah. What an absolutely incredible game that was. The fact that in the previous episode we scored 2 goals in the whole episode, we just scored double that in the first game of this episode. What an absolutely incredible game that was against Chelsea. They didn't turn up on the day. The tactics weren't great. They were absolutely terrible at the back, constantly messing up and giving the ball away. And what I'm happy about, and I do believe this as a Liverpool fan myself, Virgil van Dijk now for me has done enough to wear that captain's armband. I think he deserves it over Henderson. Yes, Henderson was meant to be the next Gerrard and all this. He hasn't done and had a big impact like Virgil van Dijk. So I'm made up that Virgil is wearing the armband. I didn't take him off, and he's going to lift the trophy. Oh, hey! And there we go, our second piece of silverware in this first season. The Champions Trophy in pre-season, and now the Carabao Cup. And what a way to go about it. What an absolutely incredible way to go about it. I mean, we've just beat them with a whopping scoreline of 4-0. The travelling fans today must be over the moon. I, as the manager, am over the moon. You guys, as the viewers, must be over the moon. The highlights that would have been in that game, there's probably going to be 8, 9, possibly even 10 highlights of us having decent chances as well as goals. The lads are bouncing, and the best thing about this, you can see the players jumping up and down, celebrating. Way! Come on, Red Men! The best thing to come out of this now is we're playing Benfica in 2 days' time, and we're coming off the back end of winning a trophy, smashing Chelsea, one of our biggest rivals in the Premier League, in the English League, smashing them 4-0, and we are the Carabao champions. Oh, that is absolutely unbelievable. Lads, we are going out to party tonight. We're going down the local Chinese. You can have a treat, all on me. And we're going to have a couple of drinks, but you can only have water or Coca-Cola. You're not having alcohol. In 2 days' time, you can't be having a heavy head when we come up and we face Benfica in the second leg of the round of 16 in the Champions League. And here we are, guys, back at the Central, ready to face off against Benfica in the second leg of the round of 16 Champions League. And we are at Anfield. I cannot be more excited for this game. But, there's always going to be a but, we do have a slight problem. I am probably going to be taking one of the biggest risks I am this season. As a manager, this is not really what you want to be doing, but sometimes you have no choice. And that, guys, is playing players that are not fully fit, that if they get too fatigued or the stamina gets too low, it increases their chance of getting an injury. And you can see there, Robertson, Van Dijk, Trent, Bobby and Salah are not fully fit and could risk picking up an injury. So I've got to make sure this is the tactic. The first half, the first 20 minutes, I'm going to go for an early goal. I'm going to look for that goal at home. We cannot afford for Benfica to score an away goal. If we don't get that goal in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to play a little bit more of possession football and get us through to half-time. Then at half-time, I'm going to look at the likes of Robertson, Van Dijk, Trent, Salah, Bobby, and I'm going to have to maybe look at making some changes. You can even see Alisson and the Ox and Sessegnon, they're not even fully fit. They're only slightly a bit of energy, but there is a slight bit gone. So I'm going to have to try and play this to my best tactics. Like I say, first 20 minutes, we're going for a goal. If not, we're going to sit tight for the next 25 minutes. We'll still have chances now and again, but I'm going to play more possession football. Then we're going to get to half-time. I'm going to have to rethink a tactic. Maybe go for the same again. Maybe go when I come in from half-time and we get back on the pitch. The next 20 minutes, go for that goal. If we don't get it, we try and see the game out for a 0-0. Now, of course, I want to score goals, guys. We've just smashed Chelsea 4-0. But as a manager, I have to think tactically. Do we want Bobby to get sidelined for the next 5 months and out for the rest of the season? Van Dijk's only just come back from an injury. Do we want him picking up another? So this is why I've got to be very careful. But the lineup going out against Benfica is Sessegnon on that left wing, Roberto Firmino at striker, Salah on that right wing, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Milner in the central midfield roles, Henderson in the central defensive midfield, Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent at the back, with of course Alisson in net. This is going to be a huge game and a huge risk on my behalf, because if any of these players pick up an injury, I've only got myself to blame. We've just got to be so careful. I really don't want to afford for anyone to be out for the rest of the season. You can see there on the right, that is a lovely feature right there. We've got Oxlade-Chamberlain on the left and Anderson Talisca, the man that is joining us for Season 2, on the right side right there in the Benfica kit. It won't be long before he'll be standing on the left side in the red kit. But let's go ahead and get into this game at Anfield against Benfica. We're 1-0 up on aggregate. Hopefully we can find another couple of goals and then just see out the game without any injuries or any problems. And here we are. More Champions League football. It's back. We've played the first leg. We're 1-0 up from the first leg. Oh, this place does bounce, and I'll tell you what, we are coming off the back end of a 4-0 victory against Chelsea and winning the Carabao Cup. The players, the fans, and myself, the manager, as well as you guys, the viewers, are bouncing. I just cannot afford for any of my big players, the likes of Van Dijk, Salah, Bobby. Can't afford for any of them to pick up an injury. I'm going to have to play this game so tactically, but you know what, guys? My tactic last time round against Chelsea worked out. Let's just open this first half. It works out against Benfica. Let's go ahead and get into this first half. Kick us off right now and hopefully find some goals. Let's get this underway. To Firmino, who's going to play around the corner for Salah, and Salah isn't going to have too much pace, but he's going to get off the mark. Salah to dancer's man. Pull it back into Milner. Milner! Oh! And I forgot it is the big man of Varela between the sticks. Play it into the middle for Henderson. Henderson is through here. Henderson looks to bend one. Oh, it's just wide of the mark. I like it though. The last 5 minutes we picked the ball up and we kept it for a good couple of minutes then. The game plan was set. Let's make sure it happens. And there we go. The referee blows for half-time at Anfield. Gonna be honest, guys, you've probably seen 2 or 3 highlights maybe at max in that first half. And I'll tell you why. I may have left some of the highlights of me saying, guys, let's just slow this down. Let's keep the ball. I've been playing it round from Van Dijk, back to Alisson, over to Robertson. I've been playing it tactically. That's what I said at the start of this game. First 20 minutes, let's go for it. And then let's hold off a little bit and just take a breather. And then we'll go again. Now, right now, the team isn't looking too bad. So I'm going to jump in. Again, I think I'm going to go with the same game plan. Next 15, 20 minutes. Let's do this. Let's just attempt to get a goal. I think the best way we can go about this is looking for that goal. If we can get a goal in the next 20 minutes, great. We're 2-0 up. If we don't, we maybe look at making some changes, then push for the goal. Otherwise, we might just have to see this game out as a 0-0. But you know what I'm like as a manager. I don't want it boring for you guys. So let's look for this goal in this next 20 minutes and push for it. Get all of our players on all out attack. Keep the pressure on, and that ball has come down this far side. Van Dijk's had to come across, ball into the middle. Anderson Talisca was there. Wow, Anderson Talisca with an absolutely incredible opportunity there, but he puts it over the bar. Benfica needed that there, and my biggest problem was pulling Van Dijk across. Trent was left at the back. Up to Bobby, looking at feeding this through to Sessegnon. Sessegnon's going to be through. I'm going to hit this with Sessegnon. Big save in this time round. Salah wasn't on the end of it. He normally is at that right post ready to put it in the back of the net, but he wasn't this time round. We've got to make some changes right now, and the biggest change I'm going to have to make, and I didn't think he was going to be a problem, but it's Trent. He's so out of position right now. He's not fully fit. You can see he's probably got 30% of his actual stamina. We've got to get him off for Dani Alves. Then I think the next moves have got to be Shaqiri for Salah, and finally Bobby. I'm really gutted to be taking them two off, but I'm going to bring Angel Correa on. He's normally a super sub. Shaqiri's a super sub. Two of them going up top there. Can we find that goal that we've been looking for? And now with the fresh legs on, I'm going to go for this, guys. We've got 30 minutes or 20 minutes to go. I'm going to push for this goal here. I feel like it was nearly there. We just didn't have the stamina throughout the lads. But this time round, we're going to look for it. Shaqiri putting a ball in. Straight into Salah. Let's hit this first time. What a strike. Millie putting his laces through it onto the top of the net. And that is already a good start. The substitute's already coming on. Let's go Van Dijk. They're over this far side. Tell you what, big save there from Alisson. Let's throw this out to Shaqiri. Round to Correa. Let's play it back to Chamberlain. Robertson coming in nicely now. Let's put a ball in with Robertson. Nice ball in. Shaqiri's there, and he's absolutely battered it over the crossbar. But nevertheless, guys, we're through to the next round of the Champions League. A 0-0 was not good enough, but I tell you what, guys, you heard me say at the start, you heard me say, first 20 minutes, we're going to go for it. Then we're going to relax till half-time, and we're going to look at changing the tactics. We changed the tactics. Second time round, we went out again, another 20 minutes looking for a goal. Then we made some substitutions, and then we went for it, and we just couldn't find that goal. I mean, when you look at the stats, Benfica 2 shots, 1 on target. Not great from Benfica. We had 7 shots, 2 shots on target. It was poor on the day. We should definitely be having 4 or 5 on target if we're having 7 shots. But nevertheless, we hold out for a 0-0. We obviously had the away goal in our favour when we went to Benfica. And we've progressed through to the next stage of the Champions League. Spurs have now broke into the top 4. Chelsea there, United are there. We're all City and Arsenal. We are still waiting for them to break through into that top 6. But that is going to do it for today's episode, guys. What an absolutely incredible one it's been. If you have enjoyed it, which you should have, please do give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to drop your comments down below. If you're new around here, click that subscribe button. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. And I've been Massive Brad. Peace out.